this is Candace. Welcome back to day 85 of my 100-day health challenge. Today is Monday, so happy Monday. I hope it's been a happy Monday for you. I'm feeling much better today. I still have some tension. So I had a migraine yesterday and was very, very light and sound sensitive. I was feeling better in the evening, but then it caught up to me by the time I was needing to go rest again. So I slept in some today. I hadn't wanted to, but I needed it. So I did let myself just sleep in some. And then I went into the school, did some work, went to our meeting, and then I have exams tomorrow. It's interesting. I don't know if you're gonna be able to hear it in the video or not, but it is so windy right now. It is, I know there's like a bunch of storms sweeping through the central part of the country. We're getting some different edges of it here and there. Supposedly our area in particular is supposed to get mostly missed by it. So it's supposed to kind of sweep down and east. So kind of sort of I think it's supposed to go east and then southeast or something. But supposedly it's going to swing past us and we're not supposed to get very much. I just don't know. You never know here. It is so unpredictable, the weather. And so it is, it could do, I have a feeling this is going to be one of those ones where either we're going to get nothing or we're going to get everything. And they are saying I think gusts of 45 or 40 to 50 mile per hour, snow gusts, wind gusts, and blizzard visibility conditions, which is basically nothing. I don't think I do have some students who live much further north and east that are probably not going to make it into school tomorrow. So they'll have to make up those finals. I mean, there's plenty of time. It should be cleared up by Wednesday. I'm supposed to travel, so I'm just curious. I already got a text notification just to keep an eye on the updates and things, and that if need be, they'll help reschedule my flights and stuff. But I'm just really hoping that won't be the case. Right now, everything is set in place. I'm supposed to be able to travel and do all this stuff. So I'm hoping it'll all work out really well. I just really want to be able to visit my grandfather. He's not doing well, and he hasn't been for a long time, but I'd really like to actually be able to see him in person. And so that's one of my biggest hopes, is that I'll actually get to see him in person, just in case this is bye. I got to say hi and bye to my grandma in 2020. Interestingly enough, I was able to actually travel. And so summer 2020, I was able to say bye to her. And I got to see my grandpa at the same time, and they were doing pretty good at the time. I mean, better than right now, obviously, for my grandfather. He's not doing the best. And so I just would like to say bye one more time. But I mean, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I've kind of already made my peace with it in some ways. It'll still, I mean, there's no way it's going to be easy, but if it doesn't happen, it'll hurt in some ways, but I'm just hopeful. I'm just trying to keep up the hope that I'll get to go and say hi and everything. And so, and then visit my brother's family and all the fun things that'll come with that. It is a shorter trip since my parents are going to be coming back this way with me instead of me going there with them. So, so we'll all visit there for a little while, and then we'll come back here and actually be here on Christmas, which is great. It'll be a lot of fun that way too. So anyways, that was kind of a brief introduction of that. So I'm just curious to see what the weather's going to do. It is not completely, we get snow a lot in weird times, and then we get lots of, warm days during the winter, or I should say sunny days, not warm days, but lots of sun. And so it's one of those weird, it's just so unpredictable. We have no idea which way it's going to go. They don't even know. I even saw on there, usually they'll at least try to predict it, and then it's hit and miss. Right now they're even saying they have no idea how much or where or when. And so they're just trying to do the best they can to predict it, which I appreciate. We'll just see. I may be Ubering in the morning if I can't find a ride, or if I can't get my car out. So we'll see. I have a feeling it won't be really that bad. I'm hoping and praying, because I've got an exam in the morning. So we'll see how that goes. Anyways, though, that definitely has put pressure. So the whole reason I brought that up was because my head has been doing better today, but I still have a lot of pressure, feeling and tension in my neck and shoulders, but particularly my head when the pressure changes, when we get weather changes and systems going through, any of the pressure changes, they can really mess with my head. So I had a migraine yesterday, but it's feeling not great, but better today. So I was able to do more stuff. Still got lots to do. I am not packed whatsoever. I have like things here and there out, but I am not packed. I do not have everything finished, cleaned, and decorated and everything. I've got most of it done. Well, I shouldn't even say most of it. I've just got different pieces here and there, most of different rooms done. So I have lots to do still. I mean, it'll be kind of fun when my parents are here. They can help decorate the tree some and stuff. But there is definitely lots to be done. So anyways, though, the rest of the day's gone really well overall. I was a little bit off of my nutrition this morning because I ate really late. But it was still okay, and I took my supplements. I did my lunchtime at a more regular time, and then I'll do my dinner time at a more regular time, so that'll be really good. One thing that is interesting with any potential blizzardy weather or snow, I mean, I know not all of you this will be relevant to, but one thing I did do is I still had gallon of water, but I like to keep fresh bottled water around in case of any storms in the winter time. I mean, really, it's just good to have at any point for any kind of storms. I mean, we get tornadoes very rarely, but we can. And but then we more often we would be more threatened by wildfires out here, and then the occasional big snows and things. And so, and I mean, most of the power lines run underground, so it's not usually a problem with the power going out, but we have had that happen before. And mostly it's the wind too. So like, those are some of the things we have to watch out for here. And so one of the things that I try to do though is to keep emergency supplies around, especially if there's potential weather going to be bad. So I do have my normal stock of healthy-ish canned vegetables and jarred vegetables and things. I really need to go through and do some, updating and restocking things. I do have my first aid supplies. I do have blankets. I have some fresh food and things, which it's cold enough that obviously if power or something went out, I could at least be able to keep it for a while, for plenty of time, probably for the power to come back on. But I have LED candles, I have batteries, I have actual candles, I have matches, I have an actual lighter. One thing that I do need to do is, then I have all my supplements and stuff ready to go. One thing I just need to be better at, especially because we've had a lot of wildfires in the last few years that have been really intense and pretty close in ways where you just never know. I mean, fortunately, we've been very blessed to not actually get hit, but nearby areas have, even just up towards the edges of town and stuff at times. I mean, the outskirts, of town. And so one thing that I would highly recommend, it's not being, a doomsday kind of thing, or it's not being the end of the world, sort of panicky or anxious or worrying all the time about things that are going to go wrong, but it is good to be prepared. So one thing I do need to get ready to go. So when the fires were really bad, I actually had mine and Kaya, my dog's stuff, all ready to go, or spare stuff to go that I could put in the car. Really, I need to update my stuff and make sure I have, where I've had to move so much, it's been hit and miss. I usually have something at each place that I go. I keep those sorts of things. I've been very lax lately here. So that's one thing I need to do is update the stuff I keep in my car. I usually keep spare things in my car, emergency stuff just in case. I have some of it, but not all of it replaced. I really need to update the stuff that I have in the house. Mostly, I like to keep some things in the basement because, again, if we did happen to have a tornado or something, that is the best place to go. So I need to update my stuff down there. I really need to get my camping stuff out. I store it, obviously during the year because I don't really go camping in the wintertime or anything. But I really need to get some of that stuff just to where I know for sure where it's at and it's in an accessible place, just in case I ever did need to take it somewhere or do something with it. Even just the fact that I have first aid stuff or waterproof things or thermal things, even just stuff that happens here, that would be really good to have. Also, I need to be making sure I have, a go bag type thing, or not go bag necessarily, but like stuff easily accessible. Like all my important documents are in one place, all the medications, or in my case, it's not really medications, they're supplements. I do consider that still medicine, obviously, but having those supplements and a base supply of essential oils and any kind of herbs or teas or anything that I would definitely need with me places, the first aid supplies, those kinds of things. Right now, obviously, I don't have a puppy. So I normally would have supplies of food and medications and documentation and things and picture stuff for her. Obviously, that's not needed right now, which is a bummer. I'm hoping that'll change in the summer. I'm hoping to have a little baby puppy again, but we'll see. And then also just thinking about like even stuff like batteries and all those kinds of things. So I have a bunch of stuff out. I have a lot of good supplies out and stuff. I really just need to reorganize, reshift, focus into just making sure I have some of that stuff set in place, that if I needed to grab it and go, because I mean, especially in the case of wildfires or wind, you need to be able to grab things and go pretty quickly. And, you know, again, fortunately, I'm in an area where I would receive notifications really quickly and could be able to tell. I don't live further out in the outskirts with a lot of land or anything. I mean, I wish I did in some ways, but I would receive notifications. It would be more than a matter of like, you know, just making sure I have stuff easily accessible instead of having to run around trying to find things, especially, I mean, it's easier when it's just me or even just me and a puppy, but definitely you still want those things and know like when and where you're going to contact people and having those emergency plans and stuff. And again, that's not to like scare you or anything. It's just good to be prepared. I mean, it actually takes that pressure off. It takes that nervousness, anxiousness, and then just in case you never know what's going to happen. And usually things are okay, but you know, just when, I mean, you could have, if you live in an area with hurricanes, with earthquakes, any of those things. So we get the, you know, like I said, the wind and the wildfires and the blizzard stuff sometimes and the tornadoes. We very rarely have blizzards, but we do have some pretty bad storms sometimes. So like snow and stuff, it can get really big sometimes. So anyways, that was kind of a thought I had today where I was like, you know, I really need to get even more organized on this and just updated on things. Because some of my stuff is coming up towards the end of their dates and needs to be replaced. Because yeah, you don't want to be keeping things like burn cream or antibiotic creams or bug treatment like ointments and stuff. You don't want to keep those past their dates, depending on what kind they are and things. So yeah, it's just one of those things. I mean, essential oils are very much, they have they have long dates, but really the dates even are not even like, depending on how you store them and take care of them and things, it's not even 100% accurate that that's expired and things. So I tend to keep a lot of essential oils and stuff around, but you do still have to be careful with the storage and things like that, especially with extreme temperatures. So anyways, it was just a thought today of like being prepared, not scared, not, you know, overly nervous or anxious, but just, you know, to keep your family and feeling like if you did need it for some reason, that you wouldn't be scrambling around and then potentially freaking yourself out or your kids or family members or whatever. You just be prepared. And obviously you're not prepared in the sense of like, I feel like at any second I'm gonna have to run away, you know, like, but just knowing that, you know, on the chance that there's some weird thing going on, you know, flooding, flash flooding, you know, any of those things, that it's just good to have, you know, stuff to ready. Remember, we talk about preventative medicine, right? It's like this idea of you're getting to the root cause and being prepared so that when something happens, it's not like you're trying to put a Band-Aid on a giant like gash or something, right? It's like you're pre-prepared, or you're actually dealing with the issue. It's not like you're waiting until you have the flu to have good things around to help you, you know, improve. It's not like you're waiting to have the Gatorade and the water around, or even the medications around. It's going ahead and preemptively having that stuff prepared and ready to go so that if it happens, and then if it doesn't, you use it for other things. You can even give some stuff away, especially, well, one good thing is if you had things that you had around but you didn't use them, and they were about to expire, one, you either use them yourself or you donate them to somebody, you know, not like stuff that's gone bad, but just if it's coming up on a short date, you restock with new stuff and you give the old stuff away, or you use it yourself, and however that looks. Sometimes it's even fun if you had camping food or something, for example. I know a lot of people have canned goods or camping foods, like the dehydrated stuff. And so they'll go take their family on a camping thing as it starts to get to the expiration date, or they'll go do like glam camp, like the glamping, like their backyard glamping, right? And so maybe you come up on the end of some of your little camp food that you use in emergencies and you've never had to use it. And so it's coming up on the expiration date. So you buy new to restock, but then you use the old and you just go camp out in your backyard or camp out in your living room, set up the tent, watch a movie, have some fun with your family, or actually go camping somewhere. Right. So it's just these ideas of like, I don't know. I was thinking about that today because of this weather. And so one of the things I did was when I was, I got some groceries delivered and they had a sale on some water. So I just stocked up on some water, not a ton, but a decent amount. And then of course I have my, a couple gallons of it too, but it's usually, a gallon per person per day is your ideal, at least having a supply for about 3 to 5 days, just in case, like clean water and stuff, because if something happens and either water may not be running or you would have to, I think that was the wind just then maybe, or it was either down that way or over there. But you would just have that supply ready to go, and you can always use it at home and stuff, but just you would have that supply ready in case the water's out, or you have, then if you don't have a source of boiling water, for sanitation and stuff. So anyways, it was just a thought on that, and even with that, the preparedness, the preparation of just even day-to-day life, I'm getting ready to travel. And so thinking about okay, I need to make sure, for example, I know my mom's going to be there and I know she has a lot of the same supplements I do. And she's going to be coming back this way with me. So to minimize how many supplement bottles I have to take on the airplane, which can take up a lot of space. And sometimes they want you to be able to, take all that stuff out so they can look at it, which, it's fine. I get it. But it's and usually they don't do that, but it's annoying when you have 10 different bottles of stuff, because it's all different kinds that you do need at different points of the time. And so because I know my mom shares a lot of the same supplements and she'll be coming back out this way, I'm not going to take those ones. I'm going to use hers, split them with her while I'm there. And then when she comes back out this way, she'll use mine because I'll have them here at home. And so that's one efficient way to save some space. Then the only ones I will take are the ones that I have to have that she does not share. And so also I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow, weather cooperating, I really hope. Then I have new supplements to make sure I'm stocked up enough for over the break and all that. So, but even just if there's certain oils I want to take, if there's certain teas, like herbal teas that I want to take because of the season, different clothes, that kind of thing. I don't need to take a lot because I'm not going to be there very long. It's a pretty quick turnaround trip. It's going to be blast, but I just, it's even the preparation in that. But even with schoolwork and occupational things and that sort of stuff, it's just good to be prepared on those things. So, well, that's pretty much all I have today. I did really well on my stuff. I didn't do as much intentional movement today because my head was still really bothering me, but I'm hoping to get back to that soon. Again, I have my 2 days goal for that. And I'll be traveling soon, hopefully. So anyways, I just wanted to update you, kind of talk about how the day went, talk a little bit, I guess I kind of ended up talking a little bit more about the preparation stuff, which is a good thing. Maybe I'll do another video on that specifically sometime. But all right, that's all I've got. I'm going to go eat dinner. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your evening, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.